What up, peeps? Tony Baker here, back with another movie review. This time I'm reviewing Judas and the Black Messiah. When I tell you I was excited for this movie, man, the first trailer I saw for it, goosebumps. I watched that trailer probably 10 times. I was like, yo, I'm ready for this. Cast was great. Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. I had heard about them making this film, and I was intrigued. I was like, it sounds good. Anything involving the Black Panther Party, I'm all in. And so this one focuses on Fred Hampton and the mold that led to his assassination. Bill O'Neill was the guy responsible. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know that much about Bill O'Neill within the historical context. Matter of fact, I had never seen him until I watched the film. And they show the real him in the beginning. This movie was directed by Shaka King, whose work I wasn't even familiar with. And some of the writers on the project, the Lucas brothers, are guys I actually know. They're twin comedian actors who also created some TV shows as well. And I was like, yo, man, I'm excited. Let's go. You know, the cast, Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya, he's Oscar nominated, killed it in Get Out. Lakeith was also in Get Out. And these guys have been putting together really good projects as far as their acting resume. They have been killing the game. And I know some people had some grumblings about British actors playing these African-American roles. And so sometimes people are like, man, we ain't feeling it, man. Get an American actor because they could feel the... But me, my whole thing is, do I believe them in the role? That's what's important to me personally. Take a film like American Skin by Nate Parker. He's African American, killed it. Performance was phenomenal. If Nate Parker was British and did that same role, I'd be like, yo, he killed it. You know, he's phenomenal. So some people had misgivings about that, and also people had misgivings about. This is a movie that focuses on the antagonist in the movie is the rat, is the snitch. It's about him. So it's not really about Fred Hampton. It's really about the Judas character. That's why they say Judas and the Black Messiah. So it's like, some people have problems with that. Oh, we gonna focus on the snitch rat? Which I get, I understand. But I'll explain later in the recap why I feel like I'm not mad at that. The story involves the FBI recruiting William O'Neill to infiltrate the Chicago faction of the Black Panther Party, which is led by Fred Hampton. And so the FBI brings this guy in to be a mole, give us all the information you can, give us layouts, give us plans, give us all of that so we can take down, because they're a threat to America, as J. Edgar Hoover says. You know, they're a threat. The Black Panther and the KKK are the biggest threats. Why are you comparing those two organizations? They are nowhere near the same. So J. Edgar Hoover, you don't get me started on J. Edgar Hoover. He was big trash. That's what the story is pretty much about. You know, and every time I watch movies where it involves an undercover cop or somebody, being a mole, I get anxiety because I hate it. Even though, take a movie like Donnie Brasco, for example, where Johnny Depp goes into the mob and it's like, even though, these are criminals, these are guys that are doing illegal things, and even Point Break or something like that, I always feel bad at the betrayal aspect of it. Even though they're shady and he's a cop, and I just feel like they let him in, there's trust there, and I trusted you. And I'm like, yeah, you was shady. Even though they're criminals, they done kill people, it's just but you lied to them, man. You were a fraud. But they killed whole families now, but you lied. And so those movies just make my nerves back up, like they're lying, man, they're fake. And so this movie is that. Lakeith Stanfield was that guy. He was fake, and I knew it. And this was a good organization. This wasn't some mob organization. These were guys fighting for what's right out here in the 60s. And he's just in there, Lakeith's performance was great. You felt the internal conflict, the desperation to survive. He's just gonna survive just like Judas. I did it for the money. It was just, Jesus. He was a good guy, but it was just, Jesus was a threat. Fred Hampton, He was a threat. I just did it to better myself. I didn't want to go to jail. So it's like, you get his motivations. And that's what they paint well in this picture. You get why he was doing what he was doing. And that's important. Like, you understood, you may not agree with it. You may not respect it. You look at him like, man, he is trash, but you get why he did it. And that's the key. Daniel's portrayal of Fred Hampton was very dope, very human. You felt him in his speeches. The cinematography on this movie was great. It had a dark, gritty look, but it was still colorful at the same time, like dark colors. The locations they chose, the soundtrack was interesting. They didn't lay it on thick as far as melodrama. They didn't really lay it on thick with the melodrama. They didn't really wear everything on the sleeve. It's like you're taking everything in. Yes, you can get pissed off, but I never felt like I was forced to get pissed off. I never felt like, they were forcing me to feel these emotions or anything like that. Now, when you compare this movie, if you want to compare this movie to American Skin or One Night in Miami and the Judas and the Black Messiah, they all have a very different feel. Whereas American Skin, you get that handheld camera type of vibe, kind of like documentary style and very much of the now. American Skin is very on the nose of the now and the arguments that are being had now. One Night in Miami felt more like a play. It was very character-driven. Dialogue was super important. Judas and the Black Messiah has a little bit more epic feel to it. More time is being passed. You get different perspectives. You getting clear-cut villains. You get the antagonist that's a villain as well, but he's the antagonist. The protagonist would be Jesse Plemons, the FBI. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's weird because Fred Hampton, they have no clue as to what he's going through on this side. The cast is great. Like I mentioned, the two leads, Jesse Plemons, aka the evil Matt Damon. He's the FBI agent that recruits William O'Neill. I call him the evil Matt Damon because he's the Matt Damon. Because when you look at Matt Damon's a good guy. You look at him, he's got a good face. He looks like the kid next door. Even though we know Matt Damon has range, but Jesse Plemons looks like the evil coin flip of Matt Damon. The first time I noticed Jesse Plemons was in Breaking Bad, and he had this boyish look, like he kind of reminds me of Matt Damon, but he was a terrible person. And so Jesse Plemons, man, he's a goodness. And Martin Sheen plays J. Edgar Hoover. This is a great cast. Dominique Fishback is the wife of Fred Hampton, was fantastic. Just a good ensemble cast. One of the takeaways from this picture is this movie really makes you appreciate Fred Hampton. And this movie didn't demonize him. It didn't make you question his morals. Because sometimes when a movie is about a real life figure, they can kind of muddy up the reputation of that person. This movie does not do that for Fred Hampton. This movie really uplifts Fred Hampton and his legacy and the tragic assassination. The mud and the muddle is on the FBI and the Judas character. That's where it all is. So, and Fred Hampton is allowed to, and his legacy is allowed to stay in a certain light of positivity, which I appreciated. Another takeaway is I want more films like this because it doesn't feel like, because we all tired of the slave movies, but this narrative right here is a narrative we don't see that often. And the programs that Fred Hampton started are around the day. So I feel like this is a very important film, and it could ignite, the programs that he set forth. His wife and his son are still out here, working for the people. So I think it's great, man. But forget all that. Y'all want to know the smooth jazz review of Judas and the Black Messiah? Well, here it is. Oh yeah. I'm giving Judas and the Black Messiah 4 saxophones out of 5. I might even give it 4.5. I gotta watch it again. I want to take it in again. Yeah. I know. I will say this. It didn't make me cry. Like when I watched American Skin, I cried. When I watched One Night in Miami, I watered up. But for Judas and the Black Messiah, for some reason, I was able to stay. I was angry, I was frustrated, but I think I went in expecting to be that. And I came away from it emotionally grounded and really empowered, but also frustrated at the disappointment in the Judas character. I don't know, it was something though. But I definitely felt something, but I was able to keep my eyeballs dry. All right, Judas and the Black Messiah recap, man. If you haven't seen the movie, step out now, because I'm about to explain the whole thing. You pretty much, you should already know Fred Hampton dies, but you may not know. So the movie is about, Fred Hampton, party leader of the political party of the Black Panther Party in Chicago. They get this guy, William O'Neill, who was boosting cars by faking like he was a police officer. That's what he was doing. He would run up on black people and use that against them to try to steal cars. He would impersonate a police officer. This is what he was doing out here. He went up in the club, man, like, yeah, man, I'm boosting this. They figured him out before he's able to escape. He had to get out of there by the skin of his teeth. Still in the car, they tried to get him. He escaped barely with his life. Cops got wind of this. FBI guy, the evil Matt Damon, was like, yo, man, you want to go to jail or you want to help us out? What you want to do? What you trying to do? What you trying to do? You know, this dude's a snake. He always looking out for one. So it's easy to recruit a cat like him. He already ripping off the black man by stealing their cars. You stealing their cars, man? We out here working hard for the money, trying to get us a nice ride. You coming in here faking like you the feds, and then you stealing cars? Come on, man. This dude was a snake from jump, man. Wild Bill O'Neill, William O'Neill. So he offers him like, yo, man, this guy Fred Hampton, man, we want you to watch him, we want you to keep an eye on him, keep tabs on the whole organization, and then report back to us, man. Or you can go to jail. The choice is yours. And he like, what you gonna do in that situation? What you gonna do? You a shady individual that don't really care about your community like that. You can care less about the political struggle. You all about feeding yourself, keeping yourself above water. You can care less about all this. I don't care. I'ma just do what I got to do to survive. You don't care about the political movement. You don't care about the social agenda. What you gonna do? Let me get some money and freedom. We got a deal. So he does it. He infiltrating the Black Panther Party. He in there helping out where he can, serving the meals up. Meanwhile, Fred Hampton is out here doing work. Fred Hampton is out here giving electrifying speeches. He's out here bringing people together. He's out here letting cats know, like, look, he's going to the street gangs of Chicago. Let me tell you something about the gangs in Chicago. They play zero games. Even in the 60s, zero games. He just like, look, he went straight to them and like, yo, man, don't believe this propaganda out here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against y'all. We rolling up in here. We are better united than we are split up, man. Let's get in on this together. I pose no threat to what y'all doing out here, man. I'm just trying to better black folks in the whole situation, man. Get in on this. As the gang leader, how can you deny this? As the gang leader, you like, oh man, he came in here on some respect shit, eye to eye, standing there strong, you know what I'm saying? They outnumbered, they surrounded. We could have ended it right there, but they came in like a man. Fred Hampton was a man. You know what I'm saying? He was out here charismatic with the speeches, stood firm, fearless. That's what you need out here, man. Meanwhile, Judas McGee, William O'Neill, Lakeith, out here just snaking the grass. Out here making it look like he a part of the cause, man. He out here, man. Lakeith Stanfield did great in this movie, man. Like, you felt the internal struggle he was going through. Trying to save his own ass, trying to stay alive, guilt, and also, like, yeah, you know, I did it for this reason, but where's my money too? He also feeling himself. He's spending money on clothes. Every time he meet up with the cop, he better dressed. He out here spending the money on threads. He don't care about the movement. Fred Hampton out here on the struggle. Got the basic clothes on. The army jackets, the basic. He out here feeding the kids every morning. Getting the word out, man. And of course, the women gonna be drawn to him. You know what I'm saying? He's shy, he dynamic, he powerful on stage, but he's shy on the one-on-one with a lady he likes. You know what I'm saying? That's when Dominique Fishback come in. You know what I'm saying? She came in and was like, yo, man, what you trying to do, man? I like you as a man. I like what you stand for. Come here. And Fred Hampton like, hey, man, look out, man. Look out, show. Come on, man. You know, see you working around the thing. Look out, man. You know. But when he got to turn it on and electrify the masses, Fred Hampton can do that. Daniel Kaluuya in this role, he was great. He was great, man. You got J. Edgar Hoover's bullshit, trying to spread the propaganda to split everybody up, trying to get blacks to turn on blacks, and like, you know, meanwhile planting seeds of deceit and all that going on. You just like, man, come on, man. So they end up sending Fred Hampton to jail because he stole $70-something worth of ice cream. Who's stealing $70-something worth of ice cream? He out here for the movement. Ice cream? And who's eating that much ice cream? Look, I love the strawberry shortcake ice cream bar from the ice cream truck. That's my pleasure. But I can't handle $70-something worth. I'm not gonna steal it. I might steal one, maybe three tops. But $70-something worth, they send them to jail for that. So then they gotta keep the movement going. They done solidified, they done gave the olive branch to the gangs in the community. Now, Fred Hampton, he's starting the Rainbow Coalition. He's bringing in other ethnic groups, the Latinos. He's bringing the Southern whites in there. He's bringing them together, the disenfranchised. There's a movement going on. It's grassroots is strong. Then you got this snake up in there, man. O'Neal, Lakeith Stanfield. You son of a bitch. You just in here, man. Snake in the grass. When Fred Hampton gets out of jail, you know, and they messing with him in jail, man. They messing with him. His crew, his squad, they getting shot at by the police, and they going through all this, and they being strong, and they standing firm, having shootouts with the cops, and then they finding out stuff, and then they getting the cops called on them, and then they out here, they got to kill cops just to defend themselves, man. We losing people in the struggle. Man. Meanwhile, the snake in the grass still thriving. And then they finding out about like moles and snakes and rats and other factions of the Black Panther and what happened to them. And then he panicking. He think it's gonna happen to them. Like, yo, man, they killing people out here that's snitching, man. William O'Neal out here shook. And they on his head too. They're like, explain this. How come they knew you? They talking about you was faking as a cop. How come they had to hush him up in the gang meeting? He's like, nah, man, look out, man. Yeah, you know, I used to steal cars trying to save his own ass. Oh, I wish they had caught him. So then he gets hit with the proposal from Lil Rel. Lil Rel's like, yo, man, just give Fred this little drink. It's gonna make him a little tired, and then, you know, we come in and arrest him while you know, subdued a little bit. Just put that in this drink, whatever. He's like, what? Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's still trying to be, you know, William O'Neal still trying to be righteous and still trying to be a man. At the same time, he knows he has no control. He's got no control of the FBI. He has no control of the Panthers. He's just trying to survive. But who can he run to? You know what I'm saying? He ain't no man on either side. The FBI don't respect him. The Black Panthers, they rocking with him, but they ain't, you know. He a fake, he a fraud. And they can kind of tell, but not really. Because he say he about that life, but when they having shootouts and stuff, he not even engaged in the shootouts. Snake, man. So they like, yeah, just put this in this drink, you know what I'm saying? Make him a little tired, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he'll take him to jail or whatever. He's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'll do it. So he reluctantly drugs his drink. And you can tell he's like dealing with it internally when he gives him the drink. He's just like, yeah, man, just have a drink, man, call it a night. Now, what that drink ended up doing, it knocked Fred Hampton out. So when the cops busted in there and started firing 90-something shots to the Black Panthers, one shot fired. They in there hitting people, killing people. His wife is in there, man, shooting up the place. They go in there. Fred Hampton is knocked out on the bed. They shoot him in the head. This is real life. This happens in real life. Happens in the film. And the wife pretty much knew. It was just, she knew when he was giving the speech talking about, I'll die for the people, I'll die for this, I'm not gonna die of cancer, I'm not gonna die of a sickness, I'm dying for the people. It was in that moment his wife knew that he's gonna die. But I think she already came to terms with that. It was in that moment, in that speech, that's why she cried, because she knew he's gonna die, I'm gonna lose him. And so when it actually happened, she was just like, I knew it. And they show her face, and you know, you hear the gunshots behind her. That's Heartbreak City, man. But she knew. 2 shots to the head while he's on the mattress face down. And O'Neal was still out here breathing, living to tell the tale with his little pocket snitch money. Great performances in this film, man. Shout out to RJ. RJ, you did your thing in this film, bro. Very well done, very dope. And I love how Fred Hampton's legacy looks fantastic. Focus on this Judas snitch rat chump. Focus on him and make Fred Hampton shine right over here. Let him shine right where he is, right where he should be. Fred Hampton deserves to shine, and he shines in this movie, man. Well done. Well goddamn done. And shout out to O'Neal. He died right when Eyes on the Prize 2 came out. He was part of that documentary, and that's the footage they use in the film. He killed himself shortly thereafter, threw himself into oncoming traffic. He just ran out in traffic. And this was the second time he tried to do that. Second time was a charm. He was out of here. Cause you can't be a Judas out here and call it a day. That guilt is gonna get you, man. Judas hung himself. And this Judas right here threw himself in traffic, man. It ain't worth it. It ain't never worth the money. It ain't never worth the freedom. Cause he was never free. He wanted to do that to stay free, to stay out of jail. He ended up losing his soul's freedom. Yeah, he did it to survive, but survive at what cost? Survive at what cost? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you stayed free, but your soul was trapped. That's why you threw yourself in traffic, sir. Man, it don't pay to be no snitch, Judas chump. That's the moral of the story, man. It never pays. You're gonna pay in the end. You're gonna suffer for it. Even if you get away clean, you still gonna suffer for it, man. So don't do it. Don't let the feds get to you, man. If you did the crime, just do your time. You did your crime, just do your time. Don't mess up the bigger organization. And Lakeith Stanfield, I'm looking for you, man. You played the role too good. All that other stuff you did is canceled. I'm looking for you. I'm unfollowing you on Instagram. You played the role too good, man. Anyway, man, let me know what y'all thought of the movie in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell me how you felt. Did it make your eyes water? Did it make you angry? How you feel? How you feel? Let me know in the comment section below. Have y'all ever snitched? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as usual, we out here.